Canadian geese have a reputation for being mean. Geese in general have a reputation for being mean, but especially Canadian geese. They're very aggressive when it comes to food and territory, and they've even been referred to lately on the internet as cobra chickens, and I think that is a very apt description of these birds. It doesn't seem very Canadian, though, for them to be as mean as they are. A gosling will permanently bond to the first living thing it sees after hatching, and there's no undoing it. That includes you, it includes your dog, your cat, or if you happen to live in the right part of North America, an alligator. Once that imprint locks in, the gosling thinks it's part of that clan, for life. And since Canadian geese mate till death do us part, that gosling might grow up and choose a human or a gator as its mate, an animal it physically cannot reproduce with. It doesn't matter. The brain on one of these birds is about the size of a peanut, and that peanut has made its decision. They do actually mate till death do us part. As long as both birds are alive, they stay together year-round, not just during breeding season. But if one mate dies, the surviving goose will find another partner within the same breeding season. Some birds pine and live out the rest of their days alone. Canadian geese are not like that. Every adult Canada goose goes completely flightless for a stretch of weeks in June and July. All of their flight feathers drop out all at once, and until the new ones grow back, the bird physically cannot fly. Not won't, can't. People put in neighborhood ponds, the geese show up, and in the middle of summer the neighbors try to run them off and nothing works. The geese aren't being stubborn, they're grounded. The only escape from predator during that window is water, so they don't go very far from it, and they don't leave until the feathers come back. I honestly have no idea how that became an evolutionary success, but here we are. In the late 1800s and early 1900s, Canada geese were nearly hunted to extinction. People of the day just figured there would always be more, because, that's the definition of more. More. The largest subspecies, the maxima, took the hardest hit. By the time anyone started paying attention, most biologists had concluded the maxima was gone entirely. What they didn't know was that Charles Mayo, the same Charles Mayo who founded the Mayo Clinic, had taken a small group of them back to Minnesota. A nearby power plant discharged warm water into the local lake and kept it from freezing, so the geese never left. More showed up every year. By the time biologists finally came out to look at the flock, the birds weighed so far above the records said they should that the scientists thought the scales were broken. They went to a local grocery store and bought bags of flour and sugar to test the equipment. The scales were fine. The supposedly extinct giant Canada goose had been living in a city park the whole time. They went from functionally extinct to somewhere between 5 and 6 million birds across North America. Hunters take out 1.8 million of them every year, and it doesn't even make a dent in the population. They fly in a V formation, and that increases their efficiency by 71% by pulling the drag off every bird except the one up front. But more and more of them aren't flying at all anymore. They find a warm pocket of water, they stay, and the ones that don't migrate are plugging runways and airports and covering every sidewalk they can find.